Welcome back. Now what we need to do is that we need to work on the main content of the website, which is the main, between the header and the footer. And what I'm going to do is that I'm going to be displaying cards or containers where each single container will display something. So let me here, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to use Bootstrap. I'm going to first create a div, and here in that div I'm going to first give it a class called container LG, and I'm going to also give it a class called main. And between inside that I'm going to first display h2 here, and inside that what I'm going to do is that I'm going to display a raw div, and that div will have a Bootstrap class called raw. So what is this raw class? This raw class is going to divide the page into rows and columns. So that for each single row we can display columns. We can display cards or objects. So the first row can contain 3 cards. The second row can contain also 3, 4, all the way to 12 cards. So I'm going to use this raw class, and I'm going to also use the MT4 class, which is margin top class. And inside it we need to display columns. So I'm going to start by creating only one column, and then we can repeat that later. So I'm going to say here div, and I'm going to give this div a class called column large LG3. And you need to know that Bootstrap divides the page into 12 columns. And if you say here 3, it means that for each single column, for each single row, there will be 4 cards. Because if each single card takes 3 out of 12, it means that we need 4 cards to fill the complete row. So if you say here 3, it's gonna take each single card is gonna take 3 columns out of 12. And this LG is for large screens, so this is gonna be applicable only to large screens. If you want this to be applicable to other screens, such as the small screen, you can say column SM for small screens. And for example, for small screens, you might want to display only one single column or card per row, meaning that for each single row you will display only one single card, because the screen is small. And it's better to display only one single element for small screens, because otherwise it's just not gonna look amazing. And for medium screens you can also say column MD for medium screens, and specify the number of columns you want for each single card. I'm gonna say also 12. And I'm gonna also use the text center class, which is gonna center this text center is gonna center the text. Finally, I'm gonna use MB3, which is a margin bottom 3. And inside each single column or card, you can think of this as card, because it's actually a card, and you will see that later. For each single column I'm gonna say div, and I'm gonna give this div a class called card. This is gonna make it look like a card. And I'm gonna give it another class, but this class is my class that I'm gonna create later. So I'm gonna give it a class called here, let's say single card. And I'm gonna, here inside that card, I'm gonna display an image. I'm gonna say img, and this img should have a source, and for now it's gonna be empty. And also I'm gonna give it a class. I'm gonna say class is equal to card single card img. below the image, I'm going to display the body. So for the body, I'm going to say div class card body, and this is a bootstrap class that's going to display the content of the card. So for the content of the card, we need to display a title and text. So I'm going to say div and then class card title. This is going to be just the title here. You can display the title, and the title obviously is bigger than the text. So for the text, I'm going to say div class card text. This is for the text, and we are good to go. And you can add comments if you want, but I think this is great. So this, be careful. You need to be very careful with the closing tags. This closing tag is for the raw, and this closing tag is for the container. Let me now click on File and then Save, and then let me first make sure that the server is up and running. As you can see, the server is up and running. If it's not, you need to open up a new terminal, and then you need to type PHP minus capital S and then local host and then the port 8000, preferably 8000, and then hit enter. And in the browser, if I refresh now, as you can see, I have this card, and if I add more cards, they will be displayed next to this so that they will fill out the complete row. And if there is no more space, new cards will be displayed in the second row, and then the third, the fourth, etc.